Listen to this episode if you want to hear the context as to how I helped one of my clients go from $500 a month to $5,000 a month in just 5 months. Hello, welcome to the Small Business Growth Podcast. I am your host, Madison Page. Here we teach business in a fun, conversational type of way, kind of like sipping coffee with a biz bestie. Today we're talking context, actual details of how I have helped one of my clients go from $500 to $5,000 in just 5 months in monthly sales. So this was 10x her revenue in 5 months from joining my program, PTP. This is my product to profit program, my signature program to help you get to consistent sales in your online business. I am a business growth specialist. I have helped over 400 business owners grow intimately. I have helped them grow their businesses through online channels, how you can get that ride or die community as well as building those consistent sales kind of fluidly, seamlessly, easily through social media, your website, and email funnels through all online channels. So today we're going to chat about this. If you did not know, this program that this client did go through is open for enrollment right now. It is Product to Profit, or my signature 90-day program to help you get to consistent sales. We talk about social media, we talk about building community, and then we talk about sales channels. So your website, emails, selling on social, and how they all kind of seamlessly work together. If you're watching on YouTube, you will see my new setup outside of my bus. I am so excited about it. This is where we are going to be for the summer. If you didn't know, this podcast is on YouTube. You can click the link in the show notes and watch it there, where we can actually have a face-to-face conversation chatting about business. So I want to give you some context because I know so many people, A, feel like this business growth is so far away, B, really struggle to see these people having success and actually relating to them because they feel like it's so far away. They feel like those people have to be different than them. They feel like they had to have gotten lucky. And truly, we're all just a little nosy, right? Like, we want some context to all of the wins, the screenshots, all of the things that you are seeing on social media. So I wanted to take a case study, which is an incredible case study, one of a major success story of somebody that came through my program and what this all really looks like. So to give you some context, this client custom designs home decor pieces. So she makes bowls, she makes paintings, she has different kind of like bundles of things that she puts together that helps you package what you put on a coffee table, what you put on your nightstand, what you're putting on bookshelves, things like that, where she puts things together. Her average order value is anywhere between $55 and $80, kind of fluctuates throughout what she's launching. And when she came to me in my DM. She was an avid podcast listener. She was like, Maddie, I think I've listened to seriously every single podcast of yours. And she had been posting on social media consistently for, I want to say, about a year and a half. When she came to me, she's like, I've been posting. I get some people to buy, but I make about 8 to 10 orders a month. And usually it's when I launch something new, somebody might buy $100 worth of something, or I have some a couple of really ride or die customers. A lot of them are either friends or they're friends of friends, or somehow we have some sort of connection, but it's actually hard to get kind of a stranger to buy from me. A super common space to be. You've been posting on social media for a while. Your content is kind of there. You have a couple of people kind of tapped in, but you also have a lot of people in her audience of like other home decor people or interior designers or people that kind of did what she was doing as well, which is a common problem that I see. Artists attract other artists, makers attract other makers that are making the same thing. And that's a common content and messaging problem. So as I was starting to talk to her in the DMs, I started to kind of notice these common like barriers. I don't want to say red flags, but these red flags that she had common mistakes in her marketing in her channels. One thing is she was primarily using social media, wasn't really using email too much. Her website was there, but it could use it was a little clunky to buy. It was a little complex because she had bundles. It was kind of hard to actually figure out how to bundle all of these things together. And so upon kind of a quick little social media audit, looking at what she did, we paired her into Product to Profit. it, which is where she had some sales, but they were inconsistent, and we really wanted to master her content, build a community because she has such an incredible product that so many people need, and then teach her how to seamlessly sell all of these things on social media. And so basically, we looked at it, enrolled her into PTP, and that's where she was. She was excited. She was nervous. I remember her in the DMs literally being like, oh my gosh, like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. She like ghosted me on and off, which if you're listening, I love you so much. And I say that with so much love to this client. Hello. I know you're probably going to listen to this because I'm gonna send it to you when I put it out there and say, hi, I'm sharing your story. Here it is. And I guess I did ask you for your permission. But looking at this, she was really nervous to invest, which is really common. It is so scary to invest. She's like, yes, but I'm making $500. So to the ROI to this program, like how quick? I remember her asking all of those really analytical questions, and she decided to take the jump after, a couple of days going on, didn't hear from her. She was like, okay, she asked another question. She hopped in through the fear, through all of the things, which is really common when you are investing in yourself for your business. She went all in. She said, Maddie, I want to do this thing. I want to quit my job of being a nurse 9 to 5. I'm so sick of it. And we went in on it. I guess it's not probably a 9 to 5 in a nursing job, but you get the gist. Her full-time other job, she really wanted to do this home decor stuff. Some things that she was doing really, really well at this point was she already had a very visual side of her brand. She had an aesthetic. She had kind of the style that she had. It was a very kind of minimalist, organic approach to home decor, I guess. This is something that I see a lot is people have this aesthetic. They come to me with a vision. They understand the art side of it. And if you've listened to my podcast for a while, I talk about this bend and this kind of this in between of art versus science in your business. When people have art and they understand the aesthetics and they understand kind of the design side, she does a lot of home decor. She clearly has custom design home decor pieces. She obviously has an eye for design of some sort. So she had that piece down. She had a little bit of that artistic flair down. She was doing really well with that. She was very consistent on her social. She was posting multiple times a week. She was fun on her stories. Like she already had some of that there. And I don't know the exact number, but I feel like she came to me right around like 15 to 1700 followers on Instagram. So she had a decent sized community, enough of a community to be making consistent sales. And I'm sharing this with you to gain context. She was a mom, she was a wife, she was a friend. She had all of these things. She had a busy life. She was a nurse. And she just really wanted a framework. She's like, I feel like I am literally just putting things out there and hoping that it works, whereas I really want to not fight for those sales. I want to know that they're going to come. I want to understand how they will come to me. So with all of that context, I know we're all a little nosy. When you see this stuff out there, you kind of just want to see what the heck, like, who am I talking about? What type of people are these? What type of businesses do I work with? This is just one example. We work with people of all different types, all different walks of life, all different industries, all different stages of business. We have worked with people that have made $0 so far and have made, $500,000+ in their business already. Whatever that looks like, this is her example. She sells custom designed home decor pieces, and this was where she started, okay? And so the first thing that we really found was that her messaging was a little fluffy. And so she knew her ideal customer, she knew her branding, she knew her ideal customer wanted this kind of minimalistic approach. They knew the vibe that they wanted. They had Pinterest boards, but they just didn't know how to actually like bring it to fruition in their home. They didn't know what it looked like to actually bring it to life. And that is where this becomes so incredibly important is she just wanted to be able to provide these bundles, to provide these options for people in the home decor space. And so we all want our house to we have this vision for our home, and she was kind of bridging that gap. But she was more so just talking about home decor, about interior design, and it wasn't really speaking to that exact person. She was solving a problem for people. She was trying to reach out to the people that had this problem that needed to be solved, whereas she was more so just generally kind of saying here, pair these things together, but that was what it was already about. A lot of her content was very product focused. Here's this bundle, whatever. Here's the I don't know the name of her bundles, but here's the Maddie throw out any word. Here's the minimalistic bundle. Here's the boho bundle. Here's the Zeus bundle, whatever it is, however you want to do your bundles. She had these different bundles, and she was like, here it is. This, you pair these three things together, perfect for your bedside table. A lot of kind of just like aesthetic content where it was like, here it is on the table. Look at how cute it is. You can go and buy it. Go check out our website. If you follow me or if you listen to my podcast enough, you hear me talk about this style of personality content. This content is necessary, but it isn't. It's the content piece that the majority of people do follow, or that they do post, is if you know nothing else, you're going to post product content. It is you sharing your product, sharing the aesthetic, sharing the personality behind the content that you, or the products that you do have. But it was very fluffy. It was trying to speak to everybody. She was worried to narrow it down because she said, anybody can use my home decor. Anybody can use my product. I don't feel like I need to narrow it down because I want everybody to know that they can use it. But when you speak to everybody, you're actually speaking to nobody because it's so fluffy that you're not actually speaking to people. You hear me say this a lot, and I use this example a lot, is like if you were told to give a speech about confidence to somebody, you would want to know, okay, who am I talking to? Because if you're talking about confidence to kindergartners or to veterans or to teachers, you're going to be speaking about a lot of different topics within those things. So you would automatically ask, who am I speaking to? It's the same thing in your marketing. In order to really hit, in order to really get people tapped in order to get people to really love what you're doing, you need to know who you're speaking to. And so this is the point where you really need to know that in order to make less fluffy messaging. Are you speaking to people that understand TikTok trends? Are you speaking to people that are Gen Z, that are millennial, that are boomers? Are you speaking to people that have this problem or that problem, or are home decor specialists? Are you speaking to interior designers, or are you speaking to people that are struggling with home decor? And so we really needed to narrow in who she was. She knew who she was trying to. It was really just her messaging wasn't quite there because she was nervous to narrow it down. Wouldn't you rather know when you're fishing exactly what type of bait your fish really wants in order to actually catch that fish? That is what we're trying to do, as opposed to just trying to catch every type of fish in that lake, in that pond, in that river, whatever. We're trying to catch the specific type of fish with this type of lure. That's what you're doing when we're narrowing down her messaging. So step one, I remember really talking about messaging. We really mapped this out. We mapped out her ideal customer and translated that into really magnetic messaging to speak to that person. And then we added more variety into her content in order to speak to these people. So we added more education style. We added more speaking to their values. We added speaking to that problem of, here is that exact problem that she had. We added more variety and more balance to her content. Right now, her content was a lot of that personality. Here's some product photos. Here's a couple of product videos of us maybe lighting the candle and saying, look at how cute this is. But she didn't have a lot of really proper formatting on her content for it to actually work. So we first started with the foundations, as we do with all of our PTP clients, because if you can't make consistent sales online, a lot of times there's a foundational element that's kind of hindering you from getting to that next step. Started with the foundations. We narrowed in that ideal customer. She was already great with her branding. We made her messaging really, really strong. And then we looked at her presence online, and we started to build out this content strategy that really called in that ideal customer and got them really engaged right away. We added balance, we added depth, and we added variety to the content she was posting to get people really excited about the products that she had. And it's not just everybody was excited. It was the people that had the problem she was solving were so in it. And I remember 6 to 8 weeks into the program, her saying Maddie, there's seriously so many people in my DMs. I've gotten people that I know, friends, family, acquaintances, to be hey, I follow you on Instagram and things are looking so incredibly good. And that is one of the first signs of a new strategy that's really starting to work for you. And that was something she really started to see within 6 to 8 weeks of starting this program and making some of these changes throughout those 6 to 8 weeks. We got really specific on the who of who she was trying to attract, and then the what would actually attract them. And then we made the actionable changes in her marketing on her website and things of that nature. She added this messaging to her already visually attractive content, paired it with strong sales-focused content strategy. So we kind of moved people through, we nurtured them into this topic, and then we had a launch. Her sales immediately increased on that launch. It was her most successful launch to the day. This is probably my favorite time in people's growth journey, is that first launch after we make a lot of these changes, because people are so much more tapped in than they've ever been in the past. You really start to see those immediate sales because we teach you proper launch strategy to make immediate sales, to get people like, open cart at 8 a.m. on Friday morning. At 8:01, we have a sale coming in. People are so excited about it. What does that really look like? And her sales kind of gradually started to climb. After that first launch, it was her most successful launch. She had a couple of immediate sales from strangers that she had never met. And that is really where people start to feel. And I feel like this was around probably week 9 to 11 maybe, because it was before the end of the program, where she started to have this first launch and she really started to see that increase in sales. The sales started to climb. People started to get excited about it. And then just 4 months after this, she hit $5,000, her first $5,000 month in sales, because she kept going with that strategy. She kept nurturing, and then eventually the sales started to flow throughout in between those launches. She figured out how to nurture into that last collection release, as opposed to just having to keep launching. She nurtured into these collection releases, and people started to buy throughout the month. She started to see, 4 sales a week, 7 sales a week, and then maybe 1 a day, 2 a day, and it started to climb until she reached right around $5,000 in sales in just 4 months after the program. So you can see here that she was struggling for a really long time. She was struggling with making $200 here, maybe $1,000 this month, maybe $500, $300, $0 this next month, not really understanding why people were buying, why people weren't buying, what was going on, why her collections were working, why they weren't working, to really understanding how to have a seamless sales strategy through your online funnels. She knew what to email. She knew what to have on her website to work. She knew what socials she needed to do throughout. Your social is more like your maintenance. It's where your community is focused. It's where you're getting a lot of that time with your audience. And then she launched, people would buy. Of course, those launch days, those sale days are going to be the days that get the most amount of immediate sales and the most attention, because you're bringing the most energy to those days. So that is very normal that those are the days that are performing the best. But she also started to see those sales throughout the month. $5,000. She 10x'd her average revenue in just 4 months after learning this strategy inside of Product to Profit. This is kind of the framework that we bring a lot of these clients through. And of course, it's customized to where your business is, because some people are really good at the branding and the visuals. Some people are already really good at the content side. They have variety and they just need to build that engagement around their brand. They have a messaging problem, or maybe you already have a really good size audience, but you're not making sales. What we need to do there is really get those people that are already in your audience really involved. Everybody's exact roadmap looks slightly different because everybody's coming in at a different time with different goals. This Product to Profit program is not just a cookie cutter. Yes, you're going through this 12 weeks of curriculum, but you get a custom growth plan fit for your needs, your business, from the questionnaire that you have, from the one-on-one calls that you and I have, where I can actually say, hey, this is your business, these are your current gaps, and this is what you specifically need to work on through these next couple of months together in order to get to where you're trying to go, in order to create the vision that you were trying to create. So this client, selling custom designed home decor pieces that were under $100 average order value, was now making $5,000. And when she sent this over to me, I remember her saying, Maddie, the best part about this is I know I can now replicate this. I know that I can build it, because I just need to go through another sales cycle, get new people, warm them up, and keep building on from there. She knew what it took in order to make $8,000, $10,000, and I am so confident that she will get there because she's sticking to this sales strategy. She's building on her incredible visuals, but she has a seamless sales funnel. She now knows how to sell within her marketing channels. And that is where people were able to make a lot of really great sales. So I know so many people ask me, like, Maddie, can you share like actual examples of how people grow their business and how this really works? And it isn't an overhaul of everything you're doing. It's actually just making tweaks to what you're already doing. She was already making the content, it just wasn't performing. So we just switched the messaging she was putting on the screen. We switched the messaging she was writing in her captions. We switched the messaging in her product descriptions on her website, how she had her stuff listed. It's making small tweaks to what you're already doing because you're already nurturing. This isn't adding hours and hours and hours of to-dos onto your plate. It's really just switching what you're already doing to make it more effective and to make it actually work for you. Imagine if when you're making that content, it's actually bringing in new followers, it's bringing in comments, it's bringing in people that are ready to buy, it's bringing in people that are excited about your brand. When you're posting on your stories, you have those DMs going. You're already posting on your stories, they just aren't working, so we just tweak what you're doing in order to make them actually work for you. And I think that's a major misconception about growing your business, is that, oh my gosh, I have to do all of these new things. It's as long as you are already being consistent in your growth journey, you're already posting on social media, you're already trying to do things. I might push you outside of your comfort zone and maybe tell you to send a couple more emails. I might tell you, you should probably post a couple times a day on your stories. That might add a couple of things to your plate, but it's not like, you have to redo your entire website. You have to add this huge thing that you didn't even know existed onto your plate. It's just shifting what you're already doing and making it more effective for you. It's adding strategy, it's adding science, it's adding, consumer behavior, sales psychology. It's really adding social selling and how to sell to people, that science element behind what you're doing. It's adding structure, it's adding like a roadmap, it's adding checklists to what you're doing. And honestly, at the end of the day, it should actually simplify in the long run the time that you're taking on your marketing, because you know what you're doing and you're confident in it. You know your objectives, you're planning it out. Product to Profit really does teach you how to run a business through online channels. You probably know how to do it in person. You probably know how to be at markets and to get that like fun feeling of people loving on what you have in person. We're going to bring that online because this sales funnel online really has to seamlessly kind of work for you. That is what we teach inside of PTP. If this is sounding like, okay, Maddie, I was in the exact same spot that this girl was in, and I really, really want this, where you want to work directly with me for months at a time, get my eyes, my heart, my brain inside of your implementation, then I'll put the link below. The enrollment is open for PTP starting yesterday, and our next round starts on June 17th. This program has sold out for the last 3 rounds. If you are really wanting to dive into this, really wanting to get people tapped in to your brand, this is the program for you to do it. If you're wanting to make those consistent sales, have those big time sales months, this is where people have seen those major drastic increases. This girl 10x'd her revenue in 4 months. Some people can quit their 9-to-5 within 3 months. Some people it takes a year. Some people it takes 2 years of implementation, but you have the science-backed strategy, not the algorithm hacks. You have the science-backed strategy in order to get people to buy from you. And that is what is so special inside of this program, is it doesn't change. It's how you build your business. If you have questions for me, you can come and hang out with me on Instagram at thisismadisonpage. We are launching and giving more information over there as well, or you can apply and see if this is the proper program for you. If you're interested in it, this really is the time to go all in. This is you committing to this being your full-time gig. This is you committing to 6 figures and beyond. This is you committing to making this business happen for you. If that's something you're all about, this is Product to Profit, and it is the program for you. If you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out. I hope this was helpful for you. Even if you're not interested in PTP, this program really can help you. I guess this episode really can help you just get a gist of what it's like to grow your business and maybe kind of settle those nerves of having to redo absolutely everything to really just needing to makes those small tweaks. It is figuring out the science and the strategy behind it. If you don't want to have to DIY it, I can teach you it in other areas. However, if you are wanting to really sit down and figure these things out, you now have the roadmap as to how this person 10x'd her business. So if you have questions for me, come hang out with me on Instagram at This Is Madison Page. I am always there. I am always excited. If you found this helpful, share it with one of your biz besties where you can kind of chat about it and see how you think you can do your things as well. To recap some major tidbits that we talked about, if you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody. And so you really need to figure out your ideal customer. You need to know your ideal customer in order to have proper messaging, because you have to have messaging that's actually going to speak to that person. You're speaking to them by using words that they're already using. You need more balance. You need more variety in your content than just sharing product photos. And there's a lot more just small tweaks to what you're already doing to make the change. And maybe that'll take some pressure off of you, that it's not that you have to add all these things to your plate in order to actually see these sales. It's just that you need to do it more strategically. You just need to make small tweaks in order to make it happen for you. I hope you have a great day. Go check this video out on YouTube. You can see my cute little bistro setup outside of my bus. If you have any questions, come hang out with me on Instagram at This Is Madison Page. I am always here for you there. If you're looking to apply for PTP, click that link in the show notes and you can apply there. I hope you have a wonderful day. I love you. I'm rooting for you, and I'm in your corner always. I will see you in the next episode.